Okay, Caleb, so what are we doing today?
Today we're going to talk a little bit about Marquette. We have quite a bit of experiments here with a grape that we've done well with that seems to like our climate here in Jay and the soils. It's called Marquette. Most of the time the hybrids are grown on their own roots and that's the accepted way, but we wanted to go a step further and graft some of these varieties to some of the more common rootstocks used with vinifera vines, your classic Cabernets, Pinot Noir, Riesling, to see what, if any, differences we can observe. Certainly we know that own-rooted works well, but we wanted to see if there were any additional benefits to the grafted. We've had these in for 3 years now. We haven't had any issues with the graft being susceptible to cold damage, so we see about minus 21, minus 22, 23 here in Jay, so we get very cold. So far okay, but we're ready to pivot if there is a problem and go back to own-rooted, but we wanted to try that first. So here we have Marquette on SO4. And we come over to this row side by side so we can compare these visually. So if there are growth differences, we can have them right next to each other. This is 5C. We also have 5BB and 3309, all of which can confer different properties because they are the part of the plant that's interfacing with the ground. The upper part is the grape varietal.
So why would you want to experiment with these rootstocks?
Yeah, we're looking at different timings for the various parts of the growing season, seeing if one has a different characteristic as a grapevine, both in the foliage, in bud break, in ripening, and all the aspects of growth, and seeing if that interaction with the ground is different on a rootstock than it is with a regular own-rooted vine.
And what about disease resistance? Will the rootstock impact that?
Yeah, possibly. Certainly with the ground, with anything in the ground, they can help in terms of nematodes and other things. Foliar stuff, I think it's much the same.
Okay. And now, what are you going to do today?
Today we're going to start pruning. So we're going to start to take these vines, which are in their third year, and start to figure out what we're going to keep and what we're going to get rid of. So you can see we've got quite a tangled mess. They're still young, they're very little vines, but we need to now cut away about 80% of this, pick our fruiting cane, which is every one of these buds will produce another cane that will fruit next year. So we're going to look at a significant increase in fruit production next year compared to last year, just because the vineyard is maturing. So we're going to look for the strongest canes, about a pencil thickness. Most of the rest will get cut away. These will be brought down, and then you'll have vertical growth occupying the whole trellis.
And so if you have multiple strong canes, how would you go about choosing which one?
Yeah, we're going to look for positioning, the ones that are under the bottom wire so that we're not above it. And we're going to want to keep another spur position for next year's cane to generate that as well. So this one, because it's below, is really well positioned. That will come down. One of these positions could be a replacement, or even there. It's a bit of an art. You have to look at the vine as a whole and make your decisions thinking 1 year ahead, not just now, but in the future. So that vine, you're building the vine structure now, and then once it gets older, it's more permanent and solid, and you know exactly where you're cutting to.
And do you look for evidence of disease and damage on those canes
Yep,
before
so we
you
probably
cut?
have a bit of that from wind and scratching, on wires and things like that. Grapevines are pretty hardy, so it's not the end of the world if there's a little damage, but you certainly want to pick the best.